thanks for joining me this evening. We're here to talk about former President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, and the guilty verdict that came down. Yes, guilty on all 34 counts. Guilty, 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 times whatever number you need to times it by, subtract the minus to get the 34, all 34 counts he's been found guilty of. Right? Some of you people are cheering, some of you people are pissed, but the reality is this shit is not over. And what I mean by that is this. Please understand that in July, he does go in front of the judge to get his time, right? But Donald Trump can still appeal the actual verdict and actually do that and push this off for a couple of years. I think they're saying probably like 4 to 5 years, enough for him to actually still sit as our president. Yes, that's true. That's the reality of it. So if you guys think that this is a slam dunk and he's not going to be our president, that might not be the case. He does have the ability to actually do that and push that trial off that long and fight it. And with him fighting it or that taking place, as we kind of can see, he was able to even run with the whole Capitol, seize on the Capitol and all that other nonsense, that there's a good chance that Donald Trump still has the ability to actually not just run, but to win the presidency. So just want to make sure the reality is there and that people are not getting lost in the news. You got to read into what goes on. What is next after this verdict? What takes place after? That's major. His party is still behind him. They're rallying in the streets right now from the last thing I actually, seen online. They're in New York. They're out there protesting. They're saying the verdict it was sham and all the other nonsense they've been saying regardless of how much evidence is in their face. So please keep in mind that this is not over. There's more to come from it. This is a small victory for those that felt that he needed to actually, definitely be found guilty and go down, which is probably somewhat a majority of people with their head screwed on right. You know what I mean? If you thought that he wasn't and this was a whole nonsense, then you forgot the whole just grab it in the video that we saw or the audio we saw, then watch him come up the trailer. So all the other stuff, and that's just a portion of what he actually does. So this gives you some insight. That's not the particular case, but that just gives you his character. So, or some information on his character if you haven't been really following Donald Trump for all these years and really seeing he is who he say he is, or who he shows you Donald Trump is who he shows you he is, and if you don't see it, then you're choosing not to because he doesn't hide it. With that being said, guys, let me know your thoughts in regards to, do you think that he will be able to appeal it and fight it for that long and still be in the race to be the president? Do you think the Republican Party will now put somebody, well, they can. I think he's running on a ticket. I'm not even sure. Matter of fact, let me know your insight. Can, at this point, the Republican Party push somebody else in position? I haven't researched that. Can somebody else go and lead the Republican Party in this president campaign now that Donald Trump is found guilty if they wanted to remove him? We know they're not going to. We know this Republican Party is going to run with Trump all the way to the graveyard. But is it even feasible? What is legal or what are they able to do from a party standpoint when running for the presidency? Don't know. That's some good information and some good understanding or an understanding I would like to know. Once again, put your information in the comments. Hey, I love the people that's been actually reaching out and commenting. You see guys have been replying back within 48 hours for the most part. Love the conversation that's going on there. Mixture of Facebook, a lot on YouTube. Definitely YouTube. Subscribe. Stay tuned to the channel. Appreciate it. With that being said, make sure you guys get out there and vote. Like I said before, on all levels, not just the president election or the election for the president of the United States or the presidency. All the levels going up. Your mayors, your governors, your senators. Man, those are where you really need to vote at, or those places. All right, so stay tuned. A lot to come on this topic here. We'll see how this unfolds. And besides that, we're going to get on a lot of serious topics in the next couple of weeks, especially in the month of June. A lot of people that I value their insight and a lot of topics that are passionate to them. I've been hearing from them, and I'm gonna bring a couple of these people on, or a couple of my people want to kind of speak on these kind of topics. And like I mentioned before, we're gonna have it where some of these people are coming remote, a couple of them out of the states, out of Connecticut, and we're gonna do as much as we can to kind of really get those type of topics and those conversations going on. There's a lot of things that take place that when politics and entertainment, the Puffy, the Donald Trump, that fall to the wayside, they're still happening in the world. There are things that are still going on locally within the U.S., within our inner cities, within things that are, let's say, more intimate with us, things that are taking place outside of the country that are inhumane, that we tend to forget about when all these other things start to get our vision cloudy and cloud our vision and bring us different directions. So with that being said, stay tuned. We're really gonna start digging a little bit deeper into these other topics. Once again, thanks for logging in, logging on, following, supporting, comment. Turn on your notifications. We're gonna keep the content coming, all right? Appreciate you guys.